Hello, welcome to Jennifer's Magical Book Club. Today I'm going to read a novel which is called The Call of the Wild. I'm going to continue reading from chapter 2, page 26. So I'm going to start. Buck had been purposely placed between Dave and Solek so that he might receive instruction. Apt scholar that he was, they were equally apt teachers, never allowing him to linger long in error and enforcing their teaching with their sharp teeth. Dave was fair and very wise. He never nipped Buck without cause, and he never failed to nip him when he stood in need of it. As Francois whip backed him up, Buck found it to be cheaper to mend his ways than to retaliate. Once, during a brief halt, when he got tangled in the traces and delayed the start, both Dave and Solix flew at him and administered a sound trouncing. The resulting tangle was even worse, but Buck took good care to keep the traces clear thereafter, and ere the day was done, so well as had he mastered his work, his mates about ceased nagging him. Francois' whip snapped less frequently, and Perlitz even honored Buck by lifting up his feet and carefully examining them. It was a hard day's run up the canyon, through sheep camp, past the scales and the timberline, across glaciers and snowdrifts hundreds of feet deep, and over the great Chilcoot's Divide, which stands between the salt water and the fresh and girds forbiddingly the sad and lonely north. They made good time down the chain of lakes which fills the craters of extinct volcanoes, and late that night pulled into the huge camp at the head of Lake Bennett, where thousands of gold seekers were building boats against the breakup of the ice in the spring. Buck made his hole in the snow and slept the sleep of the exhausted just, but all too early was rooted out in the cold darkness and harnessed with his mates to the sled. That day they made the 40 miles, the trail being packed. But the next day and for many days to follow, they broke their own trail, worked harder, and made poor time. As a rule, Perlitz traveled ahead of the team, packing the snow with webbed shoes to make it easier for them. Francois, guiding the sled at the jeepole, sometimes exchanged places with him, but not on his knowledge of ice, which knowledge was indispensable, for the fall ice was very thin, and where there was swift water, there was no ice at all. Day after day, for days unending, Buck toiled in the traces. Always they broke camp in the dark, and the first gray of dawn found them heading the trail with fresh miles reeled off behind them. And always they pitched camp after dark, eating their bait of fish and crawling to sleep in the snow. Buck was ravenous. The pound and a half of sun-dried salmon, which was his ration for each day, seemed to go nowhere. He never had enough and suffered from perpetual hunger pangs. Yet the other dogs, because they weighed less and were born to the life, received a pound only of the fish and managed to keep in good condition. So I'm done reading till chapter 2, page 28 on the end of the page. I hope you're enjoying with me, and see you later. Bye. Have a nice day.